Hi, my name's Shane. I use they, them pronouns, and this is the seventh session in our game of Fearful Symmetries. That's Steve Dempsey's campaign for Trail of Cthulhu. The characters are in Birmingham. They are investigating possible connections between a place of power in Sutton Park, maybe guarded by a troll, and a local fascist group who are using mystical artifacts against their enemies. I will ask the players to introduce themselves and their characters. Oh, sorry, I should say, this series was organized through the Open Hearth Gaming calendar. If you want to find out more, check out openhearthgaming.com. I can't really imagine anyone who doesn't know what Open Hearth is watching the seventh episode in this series. But who knows? Um, so yeah,
I
I'll
mean,
ask
I
the.
think you just had some random posting, right?
That is
So
true. Who knows how the algorithm is going to work. So yes, random person who's never heard of Open Hearth before, please check out openhearthgaming.com. Um,
we're talking to
T,
you, that person that messaged last time.
well, they know about the Open Hearth. It's the new person who gets algorithmically dumped in this week. That's who we're talking to. All right. T, can you introduce yourself and George?
Absolutely. I'm Tia Monica with T, she, her, and I'm playing George, also she, her, who is very tired, older, butch professor. Nope. One sec. I did move it to the right place in my notes. Research fellow at Oxford, um, who has been confronted with the fact that the spiritualism that she spent the last decade or so of her life debunking, in fact, is not all false. And now she has to learn magic, and she's not very good about it. Um, Also, sort of a looming threat in that she told some of the Fae no, and they did not seem happy to hear it. And they also definitely have some sort of information on the children, the mysterious figures who are menacing us and perhaps our benefactor. We don't know. She's tired. She's confused. She's currently asleep.
There's a lot of that going around. Puckett, do you want to introduce yourself and Jack?
Hey there, I am Puckett. I use he, him pronouns, and I am playing a disaster goblin named Jack Taylor, who, as yet, has not failed to make any situation worse. It's kind of his thing. It's his secret power, if you will, superpower, magical ability, whatever. He is a biracial blues musician from Mississippi Delta who left the United States for reasons that are best left vague, just kind of hinted at. And apparently he sold his soul to the devil at one point. So now he's in England doing magic and, well, making a mess of things, generally speaking. Oh, and waking up George at like 2 in the morning. So, yeah, that's Jack.
You also woke me up at 2 in the morning, but okay.
We're
Okay,
just not going to
yes,
mention
but
Anthony.
I think there are also
yeah,
some people
Present.
just out in the street who were woken up by Jack at 2 a.m. So there's a lot of that going around too.
the you know what? The people on the street can deal with their own problems. Owen, I brought your boyfriend directly to you. I fetched him and brought him to you so you could have a romantic evening. A little bit of gratitude would be nice. That's all I'm saying. I think this squares us up for the disaster on the island.
Yeah, I mean, as long as
See,
you didn't.
Jack assigns his own fetch quests, so
All right, Jose.
Hi, everybody. My name's Jose, and my pronouns are he and him, and I'm playing Sybil Carrington. Sybil is an aristocrat, the niece of the Baron Carrington, but she's a bit unorthodox, eccentric. Obviously, her interest in the occult and in this little troop of initiates is outside of what she should be up to. The other thing that she should not be up to is playing jazz music. So, like Jack, she is a jazz musician. She plays the violin, and she has a violin of some strange provenance and some magical history to it that we have yet to completely uncover. Um, And her style of jazz is a little bit more in the continental gypsy jazz kind of tradition than in the blues tradition that Jack comes from, but they enjoy playing together, we've established. She is asleep right now, because she was not around when Jack arrived at the hotel. She was still out. She's sleeping off her own evening right now. We're all
Thank you.
asleep.
And Stephen.
Sorry, my wasn't getting going off. Hi there, I am Stephen, he, they. I am playing Owen, he, him, communist labor organizer, poet, generally a little bit done with Jack, there was a whole thing where like Jack locked himself in a room with a skull of death and said, "Don't come in after me." And Owen just said, "All right," and waited.
I mean, in the end, you pulled him out okay.
When I heard him fall to the when I heard him collapse.
Mhm. All right. So I think where I would start us off today is that you've all had a chance to sleep off your various evenings, and you are meeting the next morning, probably over a traditional English breakfast, to talk about what you've learned and what your plans are. Just a couple of things as reminders. You have quite a lot of information about England Proud, courtesy of Rosa Hardy's sort of org chart. Mechanically, I'm going to say that the chart and all the other information you got from Rosa count as a sort of collective 1 point special ability for England Proud. So, you can draw on that just to know stuff about the group and its workings. Or like there's a single 1 point spend that any one of you can make. It won't refresh, it's just a one-off, benefit connected to that. Thanks, Steve, for posting that. Um, You've also got some leads around the dead bodies in Sutton Park. You know where the ley line node is. You don't really know anything about the troll yet, I think. And because Jose couldn't be here for all of last week's session, we did some Playboy post in between. And just to make sure that everyone's on the same page, maybe you could start us off by just recounting, or Sybil can start us off by recounting what it was that happened or she learned or that she's willing to share with her companions.
Let's see. Sybil went to the Grand Hotel in downtown Birmingham, to a private supper club there, and she used her family name to get inside. And her main intent there was to figure out who might be bankrolling English Proud and who also might be supplying them with magical artifacts, or if there was any magic involved in this conflict between the socialists and the fascists here in Birmingham. Um, what she learned was that there were definitely some people who were somewhat sympathetic among the elite class of Birmingham towards the English Proud, but also skeptical of their methods, she did find out there was a particular man, Hamilton Quince, who is in tight with the English Proud. But according to her new informant, Lily, just Lily, um, uh, Hamilton Quince is an idiot, which seemed pretty believable to Sybil after watching him at the club. So after listening to some jazz music, she encountered Lily in the powder room. There was some flirtation, a little bit of magic show and tell, and yes, the Sanctum Sanctorum. And then they got a private sitting room at the hotel, which Lily warded carefully. And so clearly, Lily was revealing herself as an accomplished magic user or sorceress, whatever term you want. And then there was more flirtation and some back and forth, and Sybil played for Lily and maybe won her over just a bit. And um, Lily is also interested in who might be supplying English Proud with these artifacts. And in particular, a Hand of Glory, which I believe others in the group also either heard about, didn't encounter directly, but heard about, that the English Proud are using and have used on the socialists or the communists. Um, and after making a good impression somehow and not getting her throat slit, Sybil, um, uh, Lily agreed to give Sybil a gift of a book about the Hand of Glory, which maybe has arrived at the hotel, or maybe not. We'll find out. If it has, Sybil is probably reading it at the breakfast table. Some nice early morning reading material there. And that's about what I recall of
Right.
the play-by-post. Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess we'll say that a package was waiting for you at the hotel reception when you woke up, including a copy of a book. The book is called Gloria Manis. I don't know how to pronounce that. It's a Latin phrase, being a treatise on the history, nature, and use of the so-called Hand of Glory. And also in the package that was left for you was a single pomegranate.
Oh, lovely.
Um, And I mean, a quick glance at the book will show that it's quite dense. You're not really going to pick much up from like, skimming it at breakfast.
As I'm eating my scone
Yeah.
and drinking my tea. Though her brow will
Uh,
be very furrowed by the time George arrives.
uh, I think George notices the pomegranate.
Uh-huh.
Uh, well, and I suppose um, what's the word I'm looking for? Two things in the same place, conjunction of the pomegranate and the mystical text, and will frown a bit and say, "Do those come together?"
These two, yes, from a new acquaintance I made last night at the supper club. Did you have to step over Jack to get out of your hotel room, George?
More of a small hop, but yes, we've
So he's still there, asleep. My goodness. What did you do to
what's the
him?
American expression? Sawing logs?
Sawing
Nothing. I
log.
just I wasn't gonna. I don't know. I'm not here to solve his problems for him. We were, but of course you weren't there. You know Sabini, right? The occultist.
Yes.
He
Did you
warned us
visit?
about. We did. I'll well, it's Jack's story to tell, but I think I'll let Owen tell it, and that way we might actually get some kernel of truth. But Sabini warned us about the Pomegranate Lodge.
And now Sybil takes a look at the pomegranate. And what did he say about this pomegranate lodge?
And
I don't remember.
George,
That's why I'm asking.
yeah, no, George sort of makes a face and tosses the pomegranate back to you and says, I mean, just that, just sort of a warning. Uh,
Hmm.
I guess consider yourself
Well,
warned.
I will consider myself warned.
Um, so
My new
Steve,
acquaintance did have a bit of a menacing air about her, but she was also quite helpful. And she holds up the book. This is quite dense, George. You wouldn't, by any chance, be able to help me with it, would you? And she lays it
Uh,
down in front of George.
so
yeah, I think George begins flipping through it. Go ahead.
right. So I just want to check in with the others. Stephen, does Owen spend the morning with Anthony, or is Anthony coming down for breakfast, or is Owen leaving Anthony behind? What is happening?
I mean, I guess Anthony is coming down for breakfast now that he's here.
Right. He doesn't know so much about the occult side of things, right? At least until he met Jack, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah. Um, all right. So I
I
imagine that
step
you,
on Jack a little bit as I go down the hall.
all right. So
Just the one time.
Owen and Anthony will join George and Sybil at the breakfast table. There's a little bit of, catching up. Um, and then shortly after that, Jack, having been woken by Owen's footstep, will
Is he?
is he? Bucket?
Yeah, that's what I want to ask Jack. Is he?
I have a sneaking suspicion that does not rouse Jack from his slumber at the moment. Um, I don't know what will, but I'm sure it's probably going to be something embarrassing.
All right. Well, the three of you have some time to make some plans. What are you going to do?
And Anthony is with us, is that correct?
Yep.
Yep.
And I mean, I think surprised to see you, Sybil, because I don't know that Jack mentioned anything about
No, I don't
you
think he
being
did.
here. Um, Sybil, I wasn't expecting to see you here.
Anthony, I'm so sorry you've been dragged all the way out here, but I suspect you had a nice evening.
I was, had its ups and downs.
I will have a talk with Jack about all of this if he awakens from his deep slumber. But since you're here, please sit down, have breakfast with us. We're talking about this and that.
All right. Um, has George met Anthony before? I can't remember if we've established that.
That's a good question. I think we were all in the
Was
club.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that's
I was
right.
gonna say, was Anthony
Yeah.
at the club?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe socially briefly.
Yeah. Well, he'll, politely say hello.
Anthony.
I think we also know Anthony goes is a student, yes. So
Right,
it's
right.
entirely possible that he's also met George outside of any of us.
Mhm.
Took one of George's classes. Actually, maybe I should retcon that. I think Sybil might actually want to protect Anthony from all this talk.
Hmm.
So how would she do that? Um,
Does she need something fetched or picked up?
yes, maybe she'll say to Anthony, oh, Anthony dear, I'm feeling a bit chilled. Won't you go and get my shawl? It's in my room, number 32. Please, please.
I think he will go, but he'll grumble about you've gotten too used to having servants at your beck and call.
Which she won't argue with that.
Hmm.
And so then maybe while he's away, then as soon as he leaves, she turns to George and Owen. She says, "What on earth was Jack thinking bringing him here?"
Well, at least you now know what the threat coming for your brother was.
Jack, quite a threat. I did have a vision of the club he was in when Jack found him. My spirit guide gave me the vision, and I did see someone surveilling my brother, not necessarily threatening him immediately, but I could tell nothing more. In a perfect world, Jack would have collected some information about this gentleman, but we do not live in a perfect world,
Yes,
do
well,
we?
I believe the two also drove up with someone that wants Jack dead, so that may also be an issue.
Ah, with the
He was
hellhound to boot.
That's
I
what
saw
he
that too.
said. You saw it? Oh, I thought he was exaggerating.
No, it was
No,
a
no.
hanging.
Some There was something out there that I was warned about.
Little red beady eyes and a wagging
Oh,
tongue.
I didn't see it. I just knew that it was there.
In any case, what are we going to do about my brother when he comes back? Owen, you couldn't send him back to Oxford, could you? He listens to you. I'm just the big sister, meddling all the time, telling him what to do, asking him to fetch shawls and such.
Hmm.
You're his new favorite person.
Uh, be that as it may, I don't expect I'll remain that by giving him those sorts of orders.
Oh, George, do tell me what to do. I need to protect my brother from all this business. He seems he's like a magnet for these things. He will be a liability for us.
Well, we
Jack,
already got
Jack.
one. George looks up the stairs. Uh,
We could always tie Jack up. And Owen just stops there. That's the whole plan for protecting Anthony.
Protect him from himself, of course.
well, I suppose we could put Anthony on the morning train back to Oxford and continue from there. We did, Owen and I, last night, we identified the place of power. So we need to attune to
Mhm.
that and deal with the troll somehow. Hmm.
Well, then all we have to do is wake Jack up. Or are we bringing Jack with him? Us. Tied up, perhaps? Gagged. Even better.
I think that's when I finally wander in. It's like, gagged. No, no, no. I don't get sick off of alcohol. Speaking of, and I look about for a waiter. Do I see one?
I think it's more like a buffet than a breakfast than the wait staff.
I see. See. Do any of you see anybody who works here? Hey, you know what? Never mind. I'll go to the hotel bar. I'll be right back.
So you can find a staff member at reception.
I just say, I have an awful headache. Have you such a thing about this place as bourbon?
So it's 9:30 a.m.
Yes, and
The
gin and
bar
tonics are a perfectly suitable breakfast drink for the colonies in India, as I understand.
the bar opens at 11. Be most happy to serve you then.
Right. I appreciate it. I'm going to walk over to the bar and open the door.
I mean the door is locked.
Okay. I'm going to kick the door. How much force do I need to apply to get it open?
Oh, just a DC 4 athletics test.
All right. I'd like to use American here.
So yeah, like to help you kick the door open.
Americans are all
Yes.
violent drunks.
I
I
mean,
mean, it's just
bourbon
saloon doors
is
left and right. We just got to kick them. It's the only way to open
it
doors,
is
America.
Um,
a bottle of bourbon, which is an American spirit.
so okay, so just a couple of things. So mechanically, your pool of American is at 0, so you can't spend from that at the moment. Um,
Okay.
but
I
also,
can't
I
go
mean,
negative on that.
no. The
Okay.
only things that go negative are health and will.
Okay.
The other thing is that the bar is visible from hotel reception. Um, so I don't know if you want to have the police called so early in the day, but it seems a likely consequence.
Hmm.
I think Sybil is going to get up from the table, walk over, and grab Jack by the ear and pull him to the table in front of a cup of
Oh,
coffee.
let go. Yeah.
Sit down. You've made quite a scene already. Drink
And
this.
I'll look around and loudly say, "It's okay, everybody. I'm American."
Drink some coffee, Jack. That's what Americans drink, right?
No, we drink whiskey. Cowboys drink coffee.
And then
We've got
Sybil
work to
sits
do
down.
today.
Oh, go ahead.
That's all what George says. We've got work to do today. You'll want your head about you.
That's why I wanted the whiskey. Hair of the dog.
I mean, how much could Jack really have been drinking last night? He drove like straight back. Did he have a flask of whiskey the whole way?
Laughed while he was drinking.
Yeah.
Look at George and say, "I'm going to do something uncharacteristic. I'm sorry about last time."
George relaxes visibly. She didn't know where that was going to go. And she says, I don't think it's me you need to be apologizing to. Well, no, that's not true. Not just me.
What do you mean? Owen should be thanking me.
Jack, dear,
And Sybil, you should be thanking me too. I got your brother out of danger. There was somebody watching him.
I know, dear, I know. And I know you mean well. But let me ask you a question. If you and I were playing music together
Uh,
and you were soloing and decided to change keys, you would inform me, wouldn't you? You wouldn't just go
were you
off
playing a
on
solo?
in a new key. You were playing a solo without talking to the rest of us. What kind of music is that? Jazz is a collective experience, as are we. We are a group. So please don't go off on your own anymore. Please talk to us so that we can
I was
play.
trying to keep your brother and his boyfriend safe.
My brother is not safe in this town. None of us are, apparently. Until we know more about who's after him, he's safest back in Oxford. I would have made other arrangements if it wasn't so. And if you'd asked me, Jack, I would have told you. Now, drink your coffee. I understand your heart is in the right place, but please talk with us a bit more. Won't you? And she makes her pleading face towards Jack. I won't make a point spend.
You you've made a good point. Um, so can anybody explain this thing called cricket?
That would take quite some time, I think.
Well, you asked to talk.
Right. So, one of us should probably talk to Bailiwick. Uh, we don't know who helped them acquire the hand. That's sort of an open thing to know about. Would really love to attune to this place, but if they show up with that, that will be a bad time for us. And we are fairly easy to keep track of. George is looking sideways at Jack, who has been I don't know, hollering in the streets of a night. Um, other
The
Oh,
thoughts?
hand. Do, do they actually have a real hand of glory?
that seems to be
Yes.
the consensus of opinion.
Yes.
Okay, I can be
George,
bait.
do you think there might be something in that book that could help us protect ourselves from such an artifact?
That seems like something I should spend points for.
So I think it's not so much that you need to spend points, is that anyone wants to spend, a few hours or so with the book can, find out what it might have to tell you.
Mm. A few hours with a book, you say? I think at the end of this conversation, George is going to quietly slip away with an extra cup of tea and find a corner to kick her heels up in.
And what will the rest of you do after breakfast?
Sybil
I
will
can
be
be
taking
bait or I can
Anthony.
go dig.
Sybil will be taking Anthony to the train station.
Owen,
I guess
last,
I'll also should go with that then.
um, almost scared to ask, but what about Jack?
Well, I have volunteered to be bait, and no one took me up on that. Something of a relief, I suppose. But
Oh, is Jack waiting for our input before making decisions now?
hey, I offered a course of action. No one took me up on it, so I assumed that I'm left to my own devices. And there are only so many places in a town like this where one could acquire the hand of a dead murderer. Because forget the magic stuff. The hand of an executed murderer, that's exactly my bailiwick or department, or you know what I mean.
So you're going to talk to the deputy chief constable?
Actually, I was going to talk around amongst the rapscallions, ne'er-do-wells, scumbags, and other associated
Okay.
rabble.
So everyone will know what we are doing.
Mm.
We need some points in discretion.
Did did I take discretion? I don't think I did.
Would sneak be
Is there
the
discretion?
There is no
there's
discretion. I set
stealth.
that up. There is stealth,
I
yes.
mean, stealth is more
Uh,
like sneaking
I do
around.
have a
Yeah,
bunch.
sneaking,
Yeah, I
hiding.
do have a bunch of points in that, but
It's more
um,
I think I think the other one is oh, where is it? Uh where do I have
Streetwise,
it?
maybe?
So,
No, I was gonna say there's entry, which actually also represents also social engineering, or just a like also can represent things like social engineering.
I think
Hmm.
mechanically this is how I would deal with this. So Jack has Streetwise. That means without any spend, he can just, go and talk to the rabble and so forth and see what they know. A spend will mean that he's reasonably discreet about it, that nobody, notices or says anything about it. The spend, to me, like the obvious places that could come from are either Streetwise or Overlooked, which is Overlooked is a special investigative ability that Jack has.
yeah. Um, Honestly, I don't know how much sense Overlook makes at this point because I've been fairly obvious. So I, I might be a little bit more noticeable than normal, but I will happily spend a point in Streetwise to be able to do this discreetly.
All right. Um,
And
so
just
just
on the tails of that conversation that we had, Jack, I think when you say that this is what your plan is, um, uh, Sybil will say that that's a good idea. We don't have to play it. We don't have to play it out in character. But I just wanted to say that, she's here giving you a speech about how to coordinate with other people, and you are coordinating. And so I just want to make it clear that we are coordinating and we know what we're doing together.
Mhm.
All
That
right.
sounds more like an expression of hope.
Hope, yes.
Um, so, Jose and Stephen, do you want to play out the scene where you drop Anthony off, or should we just assume that that's happened and move on to some investigation? Happy either way. Just wanted to see what you
What do you
prefer.
think, Stephen? Is there anything that you'd want to do there? He is our pillar, our shared pillar, or we could just drop
Yeah.
him off. Yeah. What do you think?
Um, I do think I have to say that I am at the train station. I'm sorry about sending you off like this, lad. But you do know that I am more afraid of your sister than you.
He seems to accept that.
That's a good train station line. And
Right.
when you come back to where Sybil is standing waiting, she says, "Everything all right then? I didn't mean to make any friction between the two of you."
Oh, I don't think that you're the one to I don't think you're the one who's making friction, Miss
Carrington.
Carrington, Miss Carrington.
Well, I must say I'm relieved to see him go and the train's pulling out of the station. Um, I do worry about him, but I think he'll be safer in Oxford than he is here with us. Where to
Jack did
next, do
say
you
though
think?
that
Mhm.
oh, go ahead. Jack did say though that there was someone keeping an eye on him, and well, I can't exactly say that we can what's the word I'm looking for? Trust that simply sending him away from us is the way to keep him safe.
Well, I will have my spirit guide keep an eye on him. That's what I was doing before when Jack intervened. You think I'm making the wrong decision? I do feel protective of him. And we seem exposed here, too visible. She's got the pomegranate in her hand still. And she says, "Forces may be at work here that do not have our well being as their first priority."
Well, that
He
may
looked,
be true, but um I've truly found that there's rarely forces in the world that have your well-being in mind.
and I think we can cut the scene there. Unless, oh, Sybil might say, where to next, but actually we can do that out of character. What do you think we should do next? Um,
Yeah, and I'll also say we've had a conversation about a pillars, both of us.
Mhm.
So if you wanted to refresh something for this session,
oh, right.
you can. Like I
Yeah, for
think that
sure.
you can refresh one of your investigative
Investigation.
points if you wanted, like 1 point.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
I will
Well, I
try.
might cut to one of the others, and maybe if the
Yeah.
two of you want to think about what you're going to do next in the side chat or something like that, or we can just pick it up with you when we come back around.
I mean,
Um,
Owen was planning on sorry, go ahead. Go ahead. I'll put it in chat.
all right, cool. Thanks. Um, okay, so Jack, does this look like going to the worst dive bar you can find, or what is Jack doing?
Oh, I'm finding an opium den.
Of course. Um, are you going to do any investigating before you get too high?
Well, of course. I'm not going to get high there. I'm just going to get some to take with me,
Right, right.
just in case. You understand?
Hmm.
Like, but, while there, I mean, certainly, if anyone has been buried missing a hand or so that looks like it was recently cut off, that's something that's going to have been talked about in the underworld.
Okay, so I mean, you definitely like find pretty quickly that nobody seems to know about anything like that.
Father. Right. Now what? And
All
I'm
right.
saying this to myself, like I'm actually having a monologue out loud with myself.
Do you want us to come back to you and you can think about it?
Well, I rather quickly come to the conclusion that the thing that I should do, I'm aware that there's fascists here. I'm aware they're young. I'm going to go start a fight with them.
Okay, so I mean, definitely with your streetwise spend, you can find out where the fascists drink, which is the old Stone Cross pub, um, and you can find your way there and probably even at 9 a.m. Find someone to pick a fight with. But we'll come back around to you in a minute. Um, George, so like reading this book completely is going to take more than just a few hours in a morning. But you can do like some amount of research. What what sort of things are you looking for?
Yeah. Um,
Well, sorry, let me, before I ask you that, let me sort of describe the book generally. So
oh, yes,
it
please.
appears to you to be about a century old. It's written by someone using the name Royal Ma, and it represents his seemingly more or less lifelong researches into the Hand of Glory. It includes, folklore, stories, rituals, um, all of the information that he could put together about the hand. So yeah, within that, what are you looking for?
I think specifically what George is looking for. She has sort of a general description of the item.
Mhm.
Um, she is going to try to get her spirit guide to appertate it to her. And
Interesting.
she is trying to get, make a best guess about the amount of information that she can give her spirit guide to make it as easy as possible for them. I expect this to be very challenging. I don't know if she can even do this.
So can I ask, are you asking a spirit guide for a hand of glory or for this specific hand of glory that the fascists have?
Oh, she wants this one. She wants the specific, gun that's pointed at them.
All right. So I'm just thinking about what the difficulty for this should be. So difficulty starts with a 4-point glamour test. Difficulty increases with specificity and emotional weight of an object, and if a person is currently holding or touching it. Um, okay, so it is very specific. It's one very unusual artifact. Emotional weight, it has some, and I think it makes sense that a magic item is a bit harder than a mundane item to appetite. I think maybe a difficulty 12 glamour test. How does that sound? Does that seem reasonable?
That seems exceedingly. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . .
.
because that is within her spirit guide's current abilities. I thought you were going to say 15 to make me roll for it.
I tried
Yeah, no.
deliberately not to check how many points you had because it doesn't seem fair to start there and work backwards.
I appreciate your spirit of fairness. But yeah, no, I think 12 makes a lot of sense. So I'm going to spend plus at least one, 11, and roll. I got one left. And I opened all of my tabs except for the dice roller.
You need a link?
There we go. Now I got it. And it's 1d6, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just check.
All
So
right.
that is 14.
Okay. So I assume you're doing this in your room or somewhere private?
Oh, yes. Yeah, no, she closed the door. She's put the chair underneath it. She has closed the windows. She has a bowl of salt water. Will that do anything? She's not sure. She's not taking any chances.
Sure. Um, well, after a few moments, you have the sense of a tremendous effort by your spirit guide, but an oaken box engraved with some sort of mystical symbols appears on the nightstand before you, just about the size of a human hand.
Ah. Uh, and I think she will look at it and then flip frantically through, well, with the respected document of that age would require, but quickly through the book to figure out what she can do to destroy it.
All right, interesting. Um, so I think you will not find information about in the book about how the hand can be destroyed. It's not really something that the author was interested in. But also, you realize quickly that these are extremely rare. The author could only attest to one ever having been in England, although there were rumors that there was a second hand in England held by someone named Boris Kalamov of the Salamanca Seven. Um, so, being so rare, there are no accounts in the book of them ever having been destroyed. That's not to say you can't throw it in the fireplace and see what happens, but there's nothing in the book to help you with that.
Yeah. So I think the last we see of George before the camera cuts away from her, she closes the book in front of her face, looks at this box that is just sitting there, genuinely real, and says, fuck.
Um, when I was thinking about this, it did not cross my mind that you could just draw an object to you. I expected the hand to be a much bigger problem, but I'm sure it will still be a problem in its own way. All right. So Owen was planning to try and infiltrate the fascists. Um, I wonder if that plan may dovetail with Jack's plan to get into a fight with one of them. Um, because I assume that Owen, like the most obvious way to try and do that is to go to the pub where they drink as well. Or is there a different
Yeah,
approach that you were going to
yeah.
take? Um,
Nope, that seems fair.
all right. And Sybil, Owen is off to the fascist drinking hole, and has
Mhm.
suggested this may not be a civil sort of activity. What are you going to do?
I think she would probably head back to the hotel to check in with George, um, uh, and rather than go off and try to do something on her own.
All right. Um, okay. So let's pick up at the Old Stone Cross. Um, Jack, you arrive at the pub. You narrow down which most of the drinkers here. There's not that many people. It's like early in the morning, but you certainly can pick out a couple of them as being members of England Proud. Um, what do you do?
I think I'm going to do something odd for me. I'm going to wait. I'm
Wait
going to have a
for.
drink or so and just kind of sip it ask the bartender, "Hey, you mind if I play guitar here a little bit?"
Uh, he'll look at you a little suspiciously. Um,
You don't have to pay me.
all
I just
right.
I play for tips. That's all.
You're not from around here, are you?
No, no, I'm American.
Yeah, I thought so. The look, you can play, but if any of the regulars don't like it, you got to stop.
All right, fair enough.
He doesn't look very happy about this. He doesn't like disruptions in his routine. But you've paid for it, paying for a drink, so he'll allow it. Um, and so you start to play.
Yeah, I'm just gonna pick away at the guitar and play just like a simple blues progression with a little bit of soloing in it, a little bit of string bending, grab a bottle of beer and use it as a slide.
Well, it's not going to
Nothing too
take too.
fancy, and I'm not going to sing about it.
It's not going to take too long before this like skinny, odd-looking, drunken Englishman yells out, "Play an English song! What is this garbage?"
English song. Uh, I got you. And I'll start picking out one of the child ballads about murder. Old traditional English song.
All right. I guess he'll tolerate that. Owen, feel free to like arrive in the scene like whenever you think it makes sense or is convenient for you. Um, all right. So Jack, you're playing away at this song.
Mhm.
The drinkers go back to
Like
ignoring you.
I'll wait until Jack is going to die. So
That seems to be a theme. Are the so I can pick out these England proud jerks, right?
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
certainly the guy who yelled at you must be one of them.
Okay. So, similar haircuts, similar style of dress, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Okay. I'm uh I'm going to start segueing back into American blues progressions,
All
figuring
right.
they're already drinking. This ought to be a good way to, you know, get them good and pissed.
Okay, so the same guy who yelled at you before slams his beer down on the table and walks right up to you so that as he's yelling at you, like little beads of spit are flying into your face, and he yells, he just starts like not even singing, but declaiming God Save the King right in your face. His fists are clenched at his sides. He's obviously waiting for you to make a move so he can feel justified in hitting you. What do you do?
I'm going to grin and I'm going to keep playing.
All right. Well, he's going to punch you.
Okay. I will
Uh,
try to dodge, even if that means just rolling out of the way.
I mean, mechanically, he's just gonna make a what do you call it? A fighting roll? Is that what it's called?
Okay.
Um, he doesn't add anything, so you do dodge out of the way, and he looks even madder. What do you do now?
It's not very nice. That's not polite. That's not welcoming. I'm here to kind of share cultures, pick up some songs, maybe take them back to the US, share some American songs here. What the hell? How am I supposed to learn British songs and English songs? You just like swing on me.
Do you have an ability to spend from here to calm him down, or
Oh,
conversely
I'm pretty
to amp
sure.
him up more?
I
I'm
think
gonna ask a
Owen gets up. from the bar at this point and calmly walks over to this situation and grabs Jack by the lapel and headbutts him.
Well,
Seeing that it's Owen, I'll just let that happen.
all right. Well, is Owen, I think Owen has to roll d6 for damage.
Okay. Right, let me go over to
Make it look convincing.
yeah. Is there like something I should spend or roll here to make my like I want to beat him up a little bit, but not like really beat him up. Just
Um,
enough.
all right. I just want to check in with Puckett that you're okay with that before we go to what the mechanical side of it is.
100%.
All right.
Like I said, when I saw that it's Owen doing it, I just like, okay.
All right. So I think if you roll 1d6 for the damage and spend a point from violence, that makes sense to me that the benefit for the spend is that you can, convincingly look to be roughing him up without really doing too much harm.
Oh, look, I did a great job of like convincingly doing it because I only give you one damage.
Nice.
Yes,
I
and
Um,
like
you throw me out.
I whispered a few things into your ear about I mean, I probably do say like uh Jack, you probably are used to screaming in pain, so in a fight. So do some of that now and we do this whole I do this whole thing where I beat the shit out of you, but like only deal one harm. So like it's we're straight up doing professional wrestling.
nice.
I'm grunting as you hit me, and I'm not really putting up much of a fight because I'm playing up the drinking aspect of it, so it looks like I'm drunker than I am.
All right. And does this end with Owen sort of throwing Jack bodily out of the bar or
Yeah.
yeah. All right.
Like if
And I will yell,
depending on how, yeah,
"What
no,
about my
I
guitar,
don't
you
think
asshole?"
I throw it through the window.
It was beat up anyway. It probably didn't hurt it.
Um, the bartender will give Owen a warm smile and slide a free drink across the bar towards him.
Man,
Um,
I just broke his window evens.
Small price to pay. Um,
Yeah.
the I had assumed when you said that the window was open, but I guess I was wrong. Um, so we're at the
Like
top of
it's
the
not a
hour.
bar fight if a window isn't broken,
Okay,
is the
okay.
thing.
Well, then there's no free
Something
drink.
needs
I
to be
take it
broken
back.
for it to be a bar fight.
All right. The bartender glowers at you, and maybe your new friend, the weird little fascist guy, says, "We should get out of here." Uh, Old stuff.
Yeah,
He's
I say
looking
some
angry.
fashy things about Jack and
Yeah.
go out with him.
All right. So we're at the top of the hour, so we'll take a 10-minute break here, and we'll come back and pick up some of these threads.
All right.
Also, I know last time we talked about knowing what connected Tim Stevenson and Alfred Daft, and I wrote, "We know what connects them, but not what connected them." Uh, Stephen or Shay, could one of you remind me?
I don't know that you did establish what connected them. You know that
Oh,
David
one second, I can't hear you. It's probably
Huskinson.
on my end.
Uh, My recollection is that you know that Huskinson was involved with England Proud, but that you hadn't established whether there was any connection to the other victims. I hope I'm not misremembering you and misremembering and ripping you off on um, what you should know.
Hmm?
Can you hear me
Say something?
okay? Yeah, can you hear
Yes,
me okay?
excellent. Okay. I need to turn my headphones off and on. Um, Sorry, I asked a question and then heard nothing of the response. I'm so sorry.
Okay, that's okay. So my recollection is that you hadn't established any connection between the victims. Maybe I'm misremembering, but I think that you knew that Huskinson was linked with England Proud, but you didn't know of any specific connection to the other victims.
I think did we find out that like all of them had frequented the park though?
So they all
That was
died in the
something
park.
okay. But I thought that there were like a couple of them that like when I talked to the guy I hooked up with
Right.
that he had seen them around, like not just on the day they died.
Okay, yeah, that sounds very plausible. Um, yeah.
So maybe that's it.
Yeah, if we didn't establish that, it certainly is. We'll sort of retcon that. Yeah, the person that you spoke to said that he'd seen them previously in the park.
But they weren't cruising regulars.
That's right.
Okay, thank you.
Puckett, are you back? Just
But I
checking.
also think I remember I asked like he's like to clarify, did he see them all together? And
Ah,
his he said that no, I did not see them together. He saw them like they're separately.
yeah, I think that would be right. All right. Um, so we'll pick up with Sybil arriving back at the hotel to catch up with George, and presumably knocking on George's door to find it very heavily barred from the inside.
George, are you in there?
Sybil, what's the name of your violin?
Vespa. You know that.
Oh, I know that. I wanted to make sure you knew that. And you hear scraping and grinding, and George opens her door and gestures you in frantically.
Oh, this is all very mysterious. How exciting.
Excitement's one word for it. And she points at the. Uh, no, yeah, I was going to say she'd moved it to the bed, but she wouldn't want it on the bed that she's going to have to sleep on again. Um, she points at the box and says, "So, good news. I've solved our problem with the Hand of Glory."
Is that it? In the box?
Mm-hmm.
Have you looked at it?
I mean, I took a peek, yeah. I have to make sure it was what I wanted, right?
How did you get it?
I asked my spirit guide.
Oh, but that's brilliant. Why didn't I think of that? They can bring us things. You
I
really
think
are the
this was
smartest of all of us, George.
Thank you, Sybil. It means a lot coming from you.
Can we, do you think, do you know how to use it?
Well,
Is it
uh,
funky?
sh she flips through the book. I'm assuming sort of the broad strokes of what you do are outlined therein.
Yeah. I mean, essentially, it says that you light the candle that's attached to the hand. Um, and well, so you open the box, you expose the hand, you light the candle, and then you'll be able to, anyone that you choose who can see the hand will be unable to move. Uh, yes.
I mean, pretty.
Do you want to test it out on me?
No,
No,
no.
but we're sure
I
it
mean,
works.
well, I'm sure you didn't hear Rosa. I also didn't hear Rosa talking about it, but when Owen told me what Rosa said, it seemed like it was the real deal.
Yes, everyone speaks of it in most ominous tones. But now that we have it, no one can use it against us, at least.
That's my hope. Unless, of course, they can steal it back. And I wonder if that is when Jack knocks on the door.
George, you in there?
Maybe.
How would I know for sure?
Well, tell me what you want me for.
Um, I'm kind of looking for what I can do next to help out. I got Owen in good with the with you know fascies.
And Sybil makes kind of a face to George to let Jack in.
Uh, and I think George will make a go ahead motion at you. All right, well, um, honestly, if we can sort of find Owen and get to the park, I think the faster we
When you
move, the
open the
better.
door, you realize that I look absolutely terrible. Scrapes, scratches. I've got an eye welling up.
Yeah, I think before letting you in, George will sigh deeply and say, go get the kitchen to give you a steak
A steak. I'm not hungry.
for your eye, Jack.
Oh, good thinking. It'll be fine. I've got some opium. But hey, Owen's in good with the fash. Look what a good job he did. Hardly hurts.
Owen
Um,
did this to you. Goodness.
He had to make it look convincing.
He looks
I
very
mean, I showed up
convincing
at the
from where I'm
bar, I annoyed
standing.
the fash, and Owen came in, and by throwing me out, he got an automatic in with him. I wish we'd worked that out beforehand, but you know, it turned out to be a good plan in retrospect.
You improvise, Jack,
Well, I'm
just
a
like when
blues
we play.
musician. Well, that's what you do in blues and jazz.
Now we're getting somewhere.
But I have to say, making it up as we go along is not a plan. It's like the opposite of a plan, right? And I like a George.
uh, and I think George says, I already said what my plan is. We need to get everyone to the park.
Everyone. But Owen's hanging out with what is it? England first, British proud.
Yes, that would be the problem.
Couldn't we have one of
I
our little friends send him a message to meet us?
I mean, I
could
suppose I could,
we?
but
I mean, I'll point out we still have no idea what this troll is that's like killed three people.
That is true.
That's true.
Like three people that were, that might have been, scouting around for a place of power. I don't know.
Well, all the more reason to make sure we have our tough on the scene.
That's right. And our hand of glory.
And then, unless there's
so
something
you want me to
somebody wants
get
to
Owen?
do right now. Oh, I was going to say this might be a good time to cut to Owen, unless there's something else specific we want from the scene.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Well, I just have a question out of character. Like, is this what we want to, is this, do we want to collect any kind of information about the troll or any investigation about the troll, or do we want to go straight for the jugular here with the place of power and and try to get a message to Owen to meet us?
I mean, you've got a point in folklore, right? So you
Yes.
certainly know some things generally about trolls, if that's the sort of thing that you mean.
Mhm.
Um, so I guess you know, and George, I think you have folklore as well. I'm not, anyway, collectively between whichever of
Yeah.
you have folklore points. Um,
There we go.
I mean, the most obvious thing is that trolls are creatures from Nordic folklore, so they're not normally They don't appear in English folk tales. It's a bit unusual to hear of a troll in England. Maybe this is obvious, but trolls are typically described as large and fearsome. They throw large objects, churches and the like. Um, Although some stories also have them as shapeshifters, able to appear as ordinary humans. And there's an old Danish ballad of Eline of Villenwood that mentions a troll not bigger than an ant. It is often said that sunlight turns trolls to stone and that they fear lightning and are repelled by the sound of church bells. And in Scandinavia, some landmarks, such as particular large stones, are said to be trolls turned to stone by the sun. And that's your basic introduction to trollish folklore.
Troll folklore. Yeah.
I don't know if you want to talk about that or just digest it a bit while I cut to Owen.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So Owen, you've been listening for as long as you'll tolerate it to this sort of drunken monologue about how good feudalism was and sort of half-digested eugenic garbage, all this sort of material. Um, what are you doing?
Think I'm going, well, of course, all that's true, but you're not telling me about what you're actually doing about it. What are you? I heard from folks around the place that this is where the real men hanged out, and all I'm seeing are people talking about it. Surely you're doing something, and I'm invoking my intimidation. Like once again, it's toxic masculinity to the rescue.
The so he like he's so easily impressed by you. Um, that the intimidation will really pay off quickly. And he'll say, "Oh yeah, I mean, we're not supposed to talk about it with people, who we don't know well, but you're obviously all right." And he starts boasting about this thing they did where they beat up a bunch of communists, and there's this kind of like he's obviously avoiding saying something. He almost says "hand of glory" a few times, when you can feel that he's like not very successfully trying to hide from you. And also, he'll mention Trevor the Knife, who's their, as far as he's concerned, is their leader who's got the hand, or who this guy thinks has the hand at least.
And like I don't know that George has
Yeah, that's right.
um taken the knife. It's like, Trevor the Knife. That sounds like a man I should meet. And I am playing up being drunker than I am. That sounds like a real champion of the cause, blah blah blah. And do you think that you could get me an in with him?
Well, I'm supposed to go see him tonight. I could bring you along, I guess. I reckon he'd like to meet a big, strong, loyal guy like you.
Yeah, and I, say some more fashy stuff. And yeah, I'd certainly agree with that. Does he say where or that he'll lead me to the place?
Yeah, so he'll almost have second thoughts having said this. And he'll say, I mean, I'm really not supposed to bring anyone along or tell anyone. I'm supposed to deliver a package to him tonight. I'm supposed to go and pick it up somewhere and then take it to him. Uh, he might get real mad if I bring someone with him. Maybe another time would be better.
I whatever this is, this package, it must be important. I can What say I you'll need I can help. I can help keep it safe. I can go with you, pick it up, and then we'll see about and I'll make sure we'll get it to him together. I have my entry. I'm trying to use my social engineering here. Uh to get in on this. It's a package. It must have something useful in it.
Yeah, I think it is
Unless it's the hand of glory, in which case it's all right.
um So you can tell from the way he's talking that it's not the Hand of Glory, or it's not something they already
Okay.
have. Yeah, I think you can spend from any relevant ability here to convince him to bring you along, and he'll say that he's meeting someone at 8 p.m. at the railway station. They're going to deliver the package to him, and he's going to take it to Trevor the Knife. And yeah, I suppose you can come along. You're all right. Um,
You're a good one, brother. You're a good one. And yeah, that's where I'll end things.
all right. Um, so, and I assume you head back to the hotel after that to meet up with the others?
Yeah, I go roundabout in case I'm being followed.
Mhm.
Although again, I guess technically I have no notice. So if I am being followed, I don't notice.
Mhm. Um, I mean, you have towns and cities. I think that that would plausibly help you
Okay.
pick up if someone was
Okay.
following you.
That's fair.
Um, all right. So, maybe it's mid-afternoon by the time you get back. You can find out, well, so let's play out that scene. What do the four of you talk about?
The knife is getting something delivered this evening. I know where the meet is going to happen, and I'm fairly certain whatever is in it, I can intercept it. Um I don't know this affects, and I mean I guess like this is what I'm reporting, and I guess like ha, do do you lead with like, so we got the Hand of Glory?
Yes, absolutely.
Like does Sybil actually hold it up like that? But it seems that while I was out, you were taking care of things then.
Yes, but we are thinking that if we pilfered it from them so easily, they might come looking for it themselves just as easily.
Or whoever their benefactor is. I say we attune today before it gets any later. We
So
know where we
can
need to
I,
be. We've got.
I just want to
Mm.
clarify something that may or may not affect the
Yeah.
plan. But I mean, attuning is a ritual. Like you're going to be doing that in a park in broad daylight. It's going to be obvious to
Yeah,
Yep.
anyone going by what's happening. I'm not saying you can't do that, but it's potentially complicated.
yeah, and I will say that like, we do have in collaboration uh what does the covenant say about magical secrets? The identities of fellow magicians can only be discussed with fellow initiates. Practitioners must not allow the public to learn conclusively who wields magical power. I feel like doing a big magical ritual in the middle of a park in the middle of the daylight might conflict with some of that.
But this isn't like an urban park of 1 acre. This
It
is
is
like
an urban park, isn't it?
monstrous.
I mean, it's
It
a
is an
big
urban
urban
park, but it's
park, but
monstrous.
yeah.
It's like a wilderness. It's not like a manicured, Green Park or St. James Park or something. It's if you're going there for cruising, that means there's some anonymity somewhere, although they go at night.
So what you're
Um,
saying, Owen, is we'll need a distraction.
hmm.
Why do I feel
The
like
heat.
that's me?
Owen sighs and says, "What? I'd imagine that you need a very large distraction for to make this work.
Now I definitely know you're talking about me. How big of a distraction do you want?
Like, I don't know. I guess it depends. Like, like out of character. Like Steven doesn't know, but like, how big of a distraction would you need to really like keep people away from like a section of the park where we're doing magic?
Uh, yeah, I mean, it's not really obvious to me that there's a clear answer. It's like a big enough park that it's plausible that, you could do an hour-long ritual and no one would turn up. But,
Mm.
it's at the same time, like there's multiple pathways through the park that lead to that area. So even if you organized a
Yeah,
distraction in one direction, there's still a bunch of ways that people could turn up. I think
Mhm.
I'm not really clear what the plan could be to create a distraction that would, totally prevent that. And I would probably be using some sort of randomized roll to figure out whether it worked.
yeah.
What if we had a series of well, we know the groundskeeper, right? Surely when like trails wash out, they must have a go a different way sort of signs.
Yeah, that makes sense. Jose did spend a point on that connection, so I buy that you get a benefit from it. And I guess something like that would presumably keep away, ordinary members of the public, but maybe not anyone intending to interfere or looking for you
More
actively.
motivated, yeah.
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 Mhm.
Yeah. I think that's a good
There is
plan.
also like a hellhound running around the city right now as well, besides the
Looking for
group.
Jack, right?
Oh, didn't Tobias take the Hellhound wherever?
Wherever Tobias went, the Hellbeast went with him. That's true.
Yeah, but I don't think he said I'm leaving the city. I feel like
I think he
it's
said
up
something like,
there
"We're not done
somewhere,
here."
is all I'm saying.
Listen,
He wants his skull back.
Tobias wants me alive because if I'm dead, I can't retrieve the skull for him, right? It's fine.
All right, but if he knows that you're not going to retrieve his skull for him, then what is the point in keeping you alive?
You say, George, does the hand of glory let us walk through walls or anything like that, or does it just paralyze somebody?
Going to take some more time with the book to get a clear answer on that. I mean, there are folklore stories about it, helping people open doors and walk and enter spaces.
Absolutely not, Jack. No.
Listen, I'm not asking to keep it, but I would like to possibly use it for a moment or two when we get back to Oxford.
Absolutely not.
Okay, you're right. We do need to think about it more and talk about it more.
And George is sort of like nervously looking out the window at the sun because you said it's like mid-afternoon that's starting to go down and says, "We should move."
Let's give it a shot. We'll stop by the groundskeepers, pick up some signs, cordon off some of the paths, and then, if we are waylaid, we do have the artifact to help us.
So you're
I
going to
flip a
take,
card out and say, "Besides, three of wands. I mean, the path is obvious, it's clear, and we should be optimistic about the outcome. We should be hopeful about it because the plan's clear. We know which way to go. We know what we're doing.
um, I think that's
Oh,
right.
well, we have
So,
Jack's confidence. You've convinced me.
all right. So the pond that you've identified as the place of power is sort of conveniently located between two stretches of woodland. So it is relatively, concealed from view. There's only about four pathways that lead to it, so it is pretty plausible that you can, lay out some signs on those paths to make sure that nobody is going to wander down by accident and catch you in the middle of the ritual.
So I
Um,
can imagine like a little montage of us going by the groundskeepers and Sybil talking to him, picking up the signs, and then us, depositing the signs on various pathways. But the sun will be getting dangerously close to the horizon.
well, that's right. So only one shot to get this ritual done before dark. Um, Sorry, I just realized I haven't checked how many points of magic are associated with this node, which we need to know to work out the difficulties and whatnot. So, um, start thinking about like what elements you're going to describe for the ritual because you're going to need to introduce some metaphors, ideas, elements of the ritual in the fiction. And I am
And
going
this
to.
place of power was like a kind of like pool of water, right?
It's a pond. Yeah,
Pond.
Pond, yeah.
it's the pond or it's in the pond or something. Uh,
Okay.
so just bear with me for a minute. Feel free
Mhm.
to talk amongst yourselves. Sorry about this.
So when we do a ritual, then just speaking to you all, I have to remind myself, we have to each of us come up with some kind of aspect of the spell, or is it just one
I
collective?
believe that the rules are that you have to come up with a number of like uncanny things based on the cost of the ritual. Like let's
Oh,
see.
based on the cost. Okay. For every
Um
5 points in the cost of the
yeah.
ritual, the players should describe some evocative or dangerous element of symbolism or metaphor incorporated into the spell's casting. The players, that's just the collective players. So it's something that we do together.
Mhm.
So what are the thematic elements we're working with? We're working with the water, the pond, um,
Yeah, and the fact that our magic is based in
spirits,
the realm of the dead,
Mhm.
the realm of the
Yeah.
dead, right?
like
Uh-huh.
and
I,
spiritualism.
Uh-huh.
I feel like clay of some kind is an obvious shout.
Uh-huh. Do we want to
Oh,
go with the fact that this is a cruising area to include that thematic element? Or is that
gross for
too
sure.
risque?
Well, like
I mean, Crowley was kicking around this time, so.
Yeah, exactly.
So the cost for this ritual is going to be 12, FYI.
Well,
We can make it more difficult to make it faster. Am I reading that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
does my magic rating help reduce the difficulty by 1?
Oh, great question. What is your rating now?
3.
No, so that's only going to reduce the difficulty of spells with a cost of 5 stability,
5 or
5
less.
will or
Okay, got
less.
it, got
Yeah,
it, got it. I just read it as I was asking you. Sorry.
that's right.
So remind me a little bit about there's a resistance or an inertia. I can't remember
Yes.
exactly what they are.
So there is an inertia pool, and the ritual consists of a contest or challenge, I forget what it's called, against the inertia pool. So
Okay.
whatever the difficulty of the ritual is going to be, the base difficulty is um, 5 or 4 if you spend a point of occult. Um,
Okay.
so you make successive, yeah, and you can modify the difficulty by the amount of time you spend on this.
Hmm.
Uh, the sorry, you make a will test. If you succeed, the inertia pool, which is sort of reality's resistance to your magical effect, makes
Hmm.
its test using its inertia pool. You go back and forth like that until one of you fails the test. If the inertia pool fails, then you succeed in your ritual, and if you are the first to fail, then the ritual fails.
And
Does
we
that make
spend
sense?
points collectively for that.
Well, so one of you has to
Within,
lead the
yeah.
ritual, but other people
Oh,
can
right.
help. And when they do that, they sort of feed you points minus 1 point from whatever pool they spend.
Okay. Okay. And then
And
the
of course, you
speed
can
of the
spend.
ritual increases I see what T put in the chat, increases the difficulty level of it. Mhm.
So if you do that, it will increase the difficulty for you, but it will not increase the difficulty for the inertia pool.
Oh, okay. That's a lot of computation.
Yeah,
George is
yes.
better at that than Sybil is.
But I think what George was referring to is what's called an improved ritual. So you can choose to, sorry, this is just going to add one more like set of number calculations to the already confounding list. But you can choose to deliberately increase the difficulty by one for both you and your opposition. And when you do that, for each point that you increase the difficulty by, you'll also decrease the inertia pool that you're facing.
Well, Jose will let other people who can
Yeah,
do
I don't understand the
computation
math of that
faster
either.
and
We'll see.
percentages faster to see what I mean, because obviously we do want to
I
do
mean,
it.
George is the one like saying like we need to get this done fast. So like how
Yeah,
fast are we doing this, George?
yeah. I think George should lead this one.
Oh, goodness. Um, yeah.
George, you have a plan.
How close to sunset are we, Shane? Doing a roll point?
I think we're going to say that it's an hour from sunset. So you have, assuming the ritual works, you have enough time to do it at its standard difficulty, or a difficulty of
Mhm.
your choosing. Um,
Mhm.
Before
but
the troll
if
shows
you,
up.
well, who knows? Who knows if there even is a troll? You have no evidence of a troll, per se.
Just three bodies.
Just three bodies.
With,
Three bodies.
And
listen,
like a
there's all
Also
weird
sorts of
next to
ways
the
to get
lake.
mangled.
That's right.
Hopefully, a hand of glory works on a troll, but who knows about that?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe, hmm. Because if you do want George to lead the
suddenly
ritual,
George is pro using the hand of glory.
I mean, she's not delighted by it, but if it's that or, get chewed to death, I think that's a line in the sand she's happy to draw. Um, Certainly she's not giving it to Jack under any circumstances. Who's ever leading the ritual probably shouldn't be holding it just in case they need to light it. Um,
Right.
and I don't think it makes sense to give it to Owen because once everyone is frozen, I imagine Owen is the person who is going to be most able to, I don't know, pick people up and tie them to trees or whatever it is that is going to make them less of a problem.
Sybil's happy to use
I mean,
the
again,
hand.
it's nice that George thinks that Owen is that forgiving.
Oh. Oh. I think George assumed Sybil was going to lead the ritual, but if Sybil wants George too, she's willing.
I mean, it just sounds like from all the fiction that George has been like, do we really need Sybil and Jack for this ritual last session?
She decided that we did.
I shrug
We
and
could
say,
do it
look,
in character if you want. I mean, we can make that particular negotiation in character might be fun.
just tell me where to stand. Um, if you need some blood, I can like cut myself or something like that. I'm trying to be better.
I appreciate that, Jack. I
Yeah, you
suppose.
appreciate it now. Wait till I fuck up again.
George, if you lead the ritual, then I will deal with the horrid little hand in case we need to paralyze anybody who comes along to interfere.
Hmm.
Deal?
All right.
And I've been
Uh,
thinking of imagery for this one, and like the thing that I've been coming to is like the water as like a purifying element. And I was wondering if like we needed to like exhume the bones of like someone buried on unhallowed ground and submerge them in the pool. That's just an idea.
Yeah.
Not like that.
I mean, I do have Streetwise. Is it unreasonable to think that I could find out where there's where like, the thieves' cemetery is?
I think points in towns and cities probably makes more sense for that.
Do I have points in towns and cities?
I
I
don't.
do.
It's Owen that does, yeah.
I don't. So,
Um,
okay.
well, I think
But
it
this
would
is
also
kind of
be.
flavor, so we're sort of assuming that we've prepped this stuff prior to this moment.
Well, I don't know. I mean, you did kind of rush here to try and get this done before sundown, so I think it's
Yeah.
maybe a difficulty 6 preparedness test
Mhm.
to have discreetly brought the
A
exhumed
corpse.
remains of
Oh,
an
I mean, I do
unhallowed,
not have
unconsecrated
preparedness, so
body.
I could like try to make that roll. I will fail, but
I was going to say, when we start talking about spell components, I think George will take off her rucksack and begin rummaging through it. Uh, and I'll spend down to 0. I guess I can, don't have to, but 5.
All right, nice. Wait, we said difficulty 6, didn't I?
You
yeah, I
sure
was gonna
did.
say
So,
you just have some bones. They're not from unhallowed ground specifically.
You wanted human bones?
Well, what
I've
did you
got
think I
chicken.
meant when I said that?
Yeah, I think she just tosses you like some chicken vertebrae.
I do say, George, you do know we're in England, right? That you can't dig up a patch of ground without finding some human bones.
I think she looks disapproving at that.
all right. So I think that we have established that you do not have all of the components that you would have need for this spell to come off perfectly. And that means that you can still perform the ritual, but the GM will describe how the spell miss or underperforms. The example given is, the unquiet spirit may outstay its welcome and whisper painful truths. So
Oh, right, the unquiet spirit of the chicken.
well, in the text example, it wasn't chicken bones, but etc. Um, George, are you leading the ritual?
Uh, yeah, it sounds like. Um, so I think while we were, uh, yeah, she'll have you stand at the compass points around the pond, which means we are going to have to holler a little bit because I'm imagining that this is like, I was going to say like an acre or two big. I don't know that that's going to be helpful for everybody. A largish body of water, a large pond.
How big is the pond? Yeah.
So it's not like the biggest pond you've ever seen. It's one of the smaller ponds in the park, but it's big enough that, yeah, you'll have to call out to each other to be heard.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, and I think we were placing the signs because we didn't have everything we needed. She did find like a clay bank and scrape some into I guess her handkerchief. Oh, gross. Her handkerchief's all clingy. And she opens it and she forms it into a little uh, sort of man-shaped-ish figure, and then we'll toss it into the middle of the pond.
Nice.
Mm.
So you'll need to pay the cost, which is 12 will
Yeah.
And then we give you will, right?
And magic can also be spent for
to,
one magic for 2 will.
yes.
Mhm.
And will can be
And
spent under 0.
And what does the
I
occult
think
come in for?
Sorry, we'll get to the difficulty in a sec.
Oh, that's
But
for the
first,
difficulty.
just for
Okay.
the cost.
Okay.
Yeah. And she will spend herself basically down to 0 for this first.
Well, how about I'll spend
You do, yeah.
because if when you drop to 0, it actually becomes a problem for you. So we want to keep
Yes,
you at 1.
that's right.
Okay.
So I can spend some of my will. And I forget what's the cost? Is it just 1 to help someone? Like it's +1 to whatever you're giving them?
Yeah, I'm not sure if technically you can help someone with the cost, but let's say that you can.
I
And
thought you
I'll,
can. I thought that was the
okay,
thing.
all right. Definitely with the tests, but all right, we'll say that you can.
Um,
But there's a thing where you have to pay 1
Yeah, so
point
the
just to do
person,
it, and
yes, that's
then
right.
anything above that is so that makes sense mathematically for one person to do it for each round, or for the tests and stuff like that, right?
Hmm.
Rather than all of us chipping a little for each one.
Yeah.
Mechanics. Uh,
When I read the ritual mechanics for this game, they seemed so cool on the page, and when we played out the rituals, I didn't. It's just not
What is
being cool in the
happening?
way I imagined.
um,
speaking for myself, I could use a little diagram.
Yeah, maybe I'll
Yeah.
try and make a flowchart for next time.
A flowchart would be
okay. So
amazing.
I'll spend the 2 will points to keep you at 1.
Okay. So I'll be at 1 will and 0 magic.
All right. So yeah, all of you feel, the air change as the ritual begins. And now you need to start making will tests. So uh, if you spend a point of occult, that will reduce the difficulty from 5 to 4, just for you not follow the inertia pool. Do you want to do that?
I sure do.
All right. So the inertia pool has to be at 5 each time. Um, And did you want to use the improved ritual thing where you increase um, the difficulty of the rituals to drain inertia? Um, it's going to make the tests more difficult for both you and the opposition.
Uh, I think George is tired enough right now that she is not going to push that
Okay,
hard.
cool. Um, I think that you will want help, but you're going to try and make a difficulty 4 will test. So you're looking for 3 points of will, probably for someone to spend 4 to give you 3.
I can do that. I will spend 4 to give you 3.
All right. Yeah. Do you want to describe a little fiction about what that looks like?
Um, oh, because we're all separated on different types parts of the pond, right? Or maybe
Mhm.
that was just the first phase of the ritual. Um, yeah, because I would like to not do it shouting across a large body of water. um, uh,
If only you had some way to make large sounds, loud
Large
sounds.
sounds.
Some sort of instrument, perhaps.
Yeah, okay. Why don't I can pull Vesper out and I think and put down the hand of glory right in front of me on a rock. Um, and uh begin playing. And what would she be playing? Um the themes of the ritual are water, sex in the bushes. um Well, I think if we have a quick flashback, I think Sybil says when George agrees to do the ritual that I'll be there with you in spirit, even though I'll be way over there. You'll hear Vesper, and she will inspire you. Um, and so I think maybe the body and soul riff that she was exploring back in the club comes back to her, because when she played that for Lily, there was a sense of the magic in uh, that circle really kind of uh, supercharging the music. And so I think she goes back to that, and that's fresh on her mind, anyways. And so she continues to riff on that. Hopefully, that won't bring Lily directly to us. But yeah, so I imagine that's how Sybil supports George for this phase of the ritual.
Nice. So all of you feel the sort of opening of the ritual, a connection to the Nexus, and also the power of the Nexus sort of pushing back against you. And
Mhm.
uh, the the next step in the ritual will require another difficulty 4 will test. Who is going to contribute those will points and how?
I will.
And what does it look like?
I pull out my tarot deck and I start kind of idly flipping cards into the water. None of them actually sink, they just float. And there's only one that shows up face up. Of course, it's the Fool.
So spend 4 points of will. Um, that is a success. Um, is it Owen's turn now to contribute some will?
Sure, I can spend my it's 4.
Hmm.
I can spend my 2 points of magic down to generate enough here.
Yeah, that works. All right. George, and sorry, Owen, what does that look like in the fiction?
I think the water of the pond starts to roil. Any fish in it kind of start to float to the top dead.
Oh, wow. Nice. Well, not very nice. Um,
Like
George,
Hydra is hungry.
Mhm. Um, George, you can feel that you're on the brink of like fully connecting to this node. It's just going to take one more push to get over the line. But you can also sense that something isn't quite right, that the lack of the exhumed bones is doing something to the magic here. Um, what do you do for that last push?
Yeah. She is sweating. If her handkerchief were not full of wet clay remnants, she would mop her brow. Um, yeah, and I think Jack mentioned blood. Uh, and so she will pull out a pocket knife and prick her thumb. Uh, and I think that's just not quite enough blood for her. So she will slice it a little bit more deeply, maybe more deeply than she'd intended, and uh, pour blood into the pool. And that will take her to -3 will.
Right, but that won't affect the ritual because you're finishing up now. But there are some mechanical effects of being below or 0 or below in will. Um, so until you get back above 0, all general ability tests are going to be 1 higher, and you can't spend points on investigative abilities. Um,
Mhm.
the Yeah, so I mean the blood bubbles violently in the water. and all of you suddenly feel the strong connection to the nexus that's deep at the base of the pool. Um, you also all again experience visions of the nearest nexus points on the adjacent ley lines. You feel in Lichfield, there's someone lurking in a well. In Gloucestershire, there is a radiant cow. And in Tyso, a great horse cast in irons in a dark dungeon. I'll post those in the chat so that you don't have to write down those strange English place names. Um, but George, George, you'll gain, I think you gain the full value of the node in magic points, which is going to be 4 magic points to the leader and 1 magic point to each other member of the participant in the ritual. So it's a real rush of magical energy. Um, but you also feel that the spell to an extent misfires and links you with the troll of the park. Suddenly you can see the troll, you can feel the troll, and as the sun goes down, you can sense the troll waking. That's right, Puckett. Um, and that it senses that you've done something to its park or its lair, and that it's coming for the 4 of you. What do you do? Actually, let's not say what do you do. Let's take our break because it's the top of the hour.
Yep.
So we'll come back in 5.
All right. See you.
Back in 5.
All right. So George, you can feel the troll coming. What are you going to do?
Um, yeah, I think it's time to leave. I don't think she wants to stick around. Um, so I think she'll start waving her hands over her head to try and grab the attention of the rest of you and sort of point emphatically in the direction of the exit.
I yell back across the pond. We need to stay. The four of cups just came up. We need to protect something in the lake. This park doesn't want the troll here.
Is Jack genuinely not making an escape at this point?
I am actually arguing to stay and fight, yes.
Uh, yeah, I guess George will mutter something under her breath that's not fit for publication, and also you can't hear because you're too far away, and start running towards Jack.
All right. So the 4 of you are going to sort of regroup and wait for the troll. Is that the plan?
Yeah, I guess I'm regrouping on Jack. I mean, George, you want me to and I kind of give a knock him on the head sound. I say that to
I'm v-
George. I mean,
uh, and I think she'll her mouth twists and says, as much as it pains me to admit it, he's as much a magician as the rest of us. He might be onto something. Mind you, we might all be 6 feet under something in short order. Sybil, you have the hand.
do we have any weapons? Like, how would we decide if we had weapons or not?
I mean, I think it's pretty plausible that you normally carry a weapon?
Last time I got weapons from like the Lord, so I don't know like what the state of like weaponry in this era would have been if like I could just carry around a pistol. That seems
I mean, carrying around a pistol would be unusual. That would be a
yeah.
maybe a difficulty 4 preparedness test.
Oh, okay. I can give a roll to see if I have one. Let's see
Yeah,
if I have one. Uh, nope.
no pistol. Um,
Actually, let me. I forgot I should have done this before I roll, but I guess like if I had, because I'm looking here, um, I might have done this if I had it, but like for future reference at the very least. It says I can spend points out of my investigative polls to add
Mm.
+3 to a
Yeah,
relevant general ability test.
that's true.
Could I have like spent something from like my streetwise to like have the right contacts to have gotten this pistol?
Yeah, I think that would make sense. Or you point from violence would also make sense. Um,
Yeah, but I think I might need the violence.
okay. Um, yeah, I mean, if you want to say, I mean, we normally you're supposed to do this in advance, but if you want to say retroactively that you spent that point from Streetwise on the preparedness roll, I
Okay.
buy that.
Okay, yeah.
Especially because it makes sense to me that you would have armed yourself before you went to infiltrate the fascists, which was potentially pretty
Yeah.
dangerous. All right, so you have a gun. Um,
I mean, I infiltrated one guy. Like I not in that sense. Um I infiltrated one guy. I didn't infiltrate the fascists just yet.
well, I mean, you went to the fascist pub to like see what was
Okay,
there.
yeah.
Like it was a dangerous
Okay.
situation to get into. All right. So, looking at the map of Sutton Park, I imagine that you've all gathered at the sort of southern side of the park, of the pool. Um, and before too long, you will hear the increasingly loud sounds and the shaking of the earth as the troll runs towards you. And it appears from the west, um, over the trees of the nearby woods. It's about 10 feet tall. It's shaking its fists. It's obviously very angry. It's obviously not, human or mortal. Its fists are enormous. Um, Maybe as it comes running towards you, it grabs a tree, just tears it clear out of the ground, and holds it up over its head as if to throw it at the four of you. Um, but as it does that, it sort of slows to a stop and it hesitates. It doesn't throw the tree. What do you do?
I say, leave. If you leave now, you live.
Well, it's not going to like that. I think it's going to throw the
This
tree.
park doesn't want you here. The
Well,
park is getting rid of you. We are the warning. The park itself, well, park itself is your enemy.
do you have like intimidation to spend here or anything like that?
Let's see what I got. Um, God, no intimidation. I take it flirting and romance wouldn't apply here.
Well, not from the approach that you've taken so far.
Um, Not for nothing, Owen, but you know, this might be somebody that you could actually date who's closer to your own interests, pulling up trees and violencing things.
So it's not really time for a discussion here because the troll
Yep.
is going to throw the tree.
Um, how about composure?
I mean, composure like helps you maintain your composure, but it's not going to help you convince the troll to back down. The troll is just going to lob the
Okay.
tree at the four of you. So I think that you all need to make an athletics test to get out of the way. Otherwise, the trees are going to hit you. It's a difficulty 4 athletics test.
Hmm.
I no. No, I'm gonna save it. I will just roll it. But because I am at negative will, I need to spend an extra
Yeah, so it's a difficulty 5
one.
test for you.
Okay. Actually, no. She's just completed a major ritual. She's sparking it alive with magic, more than she has ever been in her life. Shane, I'd like to turn a key.
Oh, interesting. What does that look like? What key?
Uh, I I'm feeling systematic, which it has to be systematic because that's the only one
Yeah,
I have
right.
filled. Um, and I wonder if I can deadlock it to be intuitive.
Nice. So what? That the deadlocking, the voluntary deadlocking happens when you take decisive action, reflecting a major change of heart. What's that look like for George?
Staying
Yeah.
here with Jack.
Um, sorry, what was that, Jose?
Staying here with Jack. I mean, I was surprised when that came out of George's mouth.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's part of it. And I think, and perhaps it is just because she is in this place and she is so attuned to it. Um, she is going to stay. And as the tree comes towards her, instead of, turning to run or trying to leap to the side, she takes one small step right and knows that she will be unharmed and that two branches will land on either side of her. Uh, and it almost feels like being systematic very quickly, but she knows that it's not. She knows that this is, I don't know. I think she is no longer going to be embarrassed by being uh, a magician. I think she can say that about herself now with a straight face.
Awesome. That's really cool. Um, so I can see that Jack and Owen have succeeded. Sybil, do you want to make a athletics test?
I'm just looking at something. If your fleeing rating is more than twice your athletics
So that's
rating.
just about the cost of buying points at character creation. That's not going to help you here.
Oh, it's not about point buy. Okay, I thought it was about transferring points around. Okay, I guess I will just use the two that I've got. And I will roll. I do have it open. It's a D6 plus two. It's a seven. Sorry, I should not say Stewie. It should be Sybil. Correction.
All right, so you've all avoided the tree. The
Yep.
troll roars at you all, shaking its fists menacingly. What do you do?
Can I ask
I
something
roar
like,
back
Oh,
at it and beat my chest like a
wait,
gorilla.
can I actually do something before Jack acts again?
Yeah, I'm also
Sure.
doing something while Jack does that.
uh, Jose, what does Sybil do?
The moment that this is a little bit returning the clock just a little bit back, but the moment that the troll hesitated, he was charging us, right? And then he stopped,
Hmm.
and before Jack provoked him, he was hesitating at that moment. Is there a way that Sybil can try to understand what made him hesitate or the nature of his hesitation?
Um, what sort of ability might you use to do that?
I guess I don't know what I've got. I've got reassurance. I've got assess honesty isn't really right.
I
What
mean,
else?
I
Well, high society, this guy is very tall.
Very. I mean, I also have a cult,
and folklore.
oh, and folklore, yeah.
I'm just thinking about so I think you can figure something out. I'm just thinking about like what makes the most sense
How
in
I
the
would do
fiction
it.
about how it happens. Um,
Yeah.
I Yeah, I think that a combination of maybe it's notice really. You think that the troll recognized you, and not necessarily you personally, but someone, the group, or one or more of you, and that's what caused it to pause.
All right, so I'll take a one out of my
You don't need to
notice.
spend for that. That's a free. That's just free information.
And if I were to spend,
I think
would
for a
I
spend, I'll tell you who it recognized. Sure,
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you're
Uh-huh.
interested. Um, the troll recognized Owen. That's what made it stop. It seemed to look at Owen and seems maybe still to be looking at Owen with some surprise and confusion.
Well, that's fine because I'm going to be shooting at it.
Oh shit. Actually, when so if that happened, then Sybil would say out loud after what do you call it? Dodging the tree.
Mhm.
She'll say, "Oh, and it knows you."
I am happy to spend a point of notice to have an answer to this question. Uh, do its facial features look even vaguely familiar to George?
No. I mean, its facial features don't look at all human. It's a
Right.
monster.
Mhm.
All right, Owen, you want to take a shot?
I mean, yeah, I'll shout back. That's quite nice, Miss Carrington, but uh, I'm afraid we don't have time for social pleasantries. And I start shooting.
All right, so it's so big that it's only a difficulty 3 to hit it. But go ahead and make it's fighting, I think,
Yeah,
fighting
difficulty
spin.
3. So let me see. If I wanted 7. So I'm gonna spend 4 of my fighting
Mhm.
and 1 of my violence. Wait, no, how much more does it have to be? Be
For a
critical?
crit, 4. It has to beat the target by 4, so if a 7 or better, you'll crit.
Shane, how
Okay, no.
can
So
we
just 3 of
interfere?
my fighting.
There's not really a mechanic for interfering.
Tell me what you do if because I like Owen is going to go in for try to go for the headshot here. What's your plan, George?
Um, I guess she just wants you to miss, right? I think she's gonna shoulder check you. Hey, she is riding high on her intuition right now. She has no information to base this summation on. Summarization?
Okay, George,
Belief?
I will not spend the points. George shoulder checks me. What happens? Either Shane or George needs to tell me what happens here.
So, I mean, George, so what do you do after shoulder tackling Owen? Like maybe the shot goes off, into the air. It's early evening, so the sound of gunfire in the park is also likely to draw attention. Like the park hasn't emptied out completely. Um, the troll lets out a yell at the sound of the gunshot. Um, what will it do? I mean, it's probably not going to attack while the two of you are scuffling, so maybe it sort of hangs back for the time being.
So polite.
I think
Uh,
it seems confused. The troll is very confused right now.
uh,
As is Owen.
I don't think George could actually take you in a fight, but maybe you're not actually trying to fight her. And she says, "Wait, wait, 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 wait! It knows you. It knows you, Owen. That's what Sybil said."
Owen sighs and says, That's wonderful, Miss George. I do not see how this helps us here.
No, from the
Talk
the
to it,
folklore,
Owen. Talk to it.
they can transform.
It may be one of your tricks.
One of my Oh, okay, that kind of trick. I was like,
I don't know what term was used in the 1930s
yeah, I was
for
like,
these
one of my
things.
magic tricks. I don't know what you think Owen does. No, I'm worried that it's the guy that this other guy I talked to, which would be a problem. Um, uh, hello, and wave my gun at it.
I think it roars again, but it doesn't come any closer.
I look at George and Sybil because
Put the gun down, dear. Or away,
I
at
am not
least.
doing that.
Owen, do you not know how to have a conversation?
I know how to have a conversation with things
Well,
under 8 feet tall.
talk to it.
Imagine Anthony is having a, a fit of some sort. How would you respond to him? Hands up? Placating?
I give a look at you like do you talk to your brother this way? Like, oh yes, Anthony, when Anthony has a fit.
He has fits so often.
The troll, as you're talking, approaches you slowly. It's not really making the menacing gestures anymore, and it will just sit down sort of near where the four of you are standing and sort of watch quizzically to try and understand what is happening exactly.
I sit
Ah,
down.
Well,
And I
apparently
think
there's been some sort of I don't quite know what to say about it, but apparently there's some sort of misunderstanding here, I suppose. Um I don't mind Jack. He is a Harlequin pretending to be a man.
Owen, I don't even know what that means.
I didn't expect you to.
The
What
troll
the hell is a
speaks.
harlequin?
The troll will
Trolls speak.
say, "Speak now in a human voice," to Owen, and gesture at Jack and say, "Yeah, your
Do
friend
I
is very rude."
believe me,
do,
we
do I
know.
recognize the voice?
Maybe it is. Do you have notice? You don't have any notice, so I think that means
Nope,
you
I
don't
don't.
recognize the voice. Well, actually, I think you do have flirting and romance, so you recognize the voice of the guy that you hooked up with in the park a couple of
Okay.
nights ago.
All right, fine. It is the guy hooked up with, apparently.
I told you.
Um,
Just there are many people in this city that want me dead, you realize. Or Jack dead, and me because I am associated with him.
the troll will say, "You did something to the pond."
I didn't cheat on him. We don't have, we're not monogamous. Like we literally open on Jack finding him like flirting with some other guys. So,
And I think George will, yeah, she'll sit down.
Anyway,
Says that.
anyway, we turn back after having that aside.
uh, yeah, I think that was me. Um, you could feel it, right? You could feel the, I don't know, badness.
Um, well, I've been in this park a long
I will
time.
try to spend my last magic. I will see if I can make this roll to see the truth here. Because Owen with no notice does not feel anything, right?
Oh yeah, you want to use your mystical vision? Is that what you mean?
Yeah. What do I have to do for that?
So it's a will test. You can use magic two for one
Oh, it's a
for
will
points
test.
of will.
Okay. Um, I have plenty of will right now. How much do I need to spend?
So it's a difficulty 4 will test.
Okay, I'll spend down to, well, difficulty four. I have plenty of will. Jack does not use will. Owen does not use will a lot. So I'm gonna spend wait, rules. Sorry, I'm just looking here.
Mhm.
Oh, it also says magicians apparently spend will on stealth tests.
Oh really?
To avoid being perceived by
Oh,
mystical vision.
right.
Interesting. Um, I'm gonna spend a magic here to give myself the +3 bonus. Um,
Cool.
so that is 3 plus 4 will. So that is an automatic crit, right?
Sure. Is there an extra
Okay,
benefit that you want to get from this?
I just, I want to know, like, Owen wants to know because Owen is very confused right now about what exactly this terrible vibe that George is getting is.
Oh, it's gone now. That's what we were fixing, right?
Yeah, so I think that you can talk to the troll. I mean, your mystical vision will show you that it is both the troll and the young man that you met here. That those are both its true forms. Um, it has, what? It tells you that it's been here for hundreds of years. It got lost. It came over with some Nordic raiders many years ago, and they left it behind. But it's come to like living in the park. The park has become its home. It looks glaringly at Jack as it says that after he suggested the park didn't want it here. Um, it has, it knew about I mean, it wouldn't have used the word ley line nexus, but it knew there was a power in the pond, and it knows that over the last 100 years or so, something dark had started to draw on that power. Um, but it felt connecting with the ley line nexus, and it will say somewhat surprised now that it's had a chance to like think about this. But the darkness seems to have gone now.
And nope. No, you know what? George is Bash. She's gonna say, and I assume Tim Stevenson and Alfred Daft were making problems.
Well, they wanted to. They had bad thoughts in their head. I didn't want people like that in my park.
George is not looking at Jack.
I look at George and say,
Don't worry, Jack doesn't have thoughts in his head.
do you think I was picking up on like the bad energy in the park, saying it didn't want him here?
Jack, I think you haven't learned the difference between being confident and being right.
There's a difference.
Uh,
He's an American, George. You shouldn't expect him to know English.
We'll explain it to you later, Jack. Over a
I'll look at the
drink.
troll and say, hey, I'm sorry about that. I'm I'm trying to get better at the things that I do. But when you're starting from where I am, it's a long road. I think they'll all agree with me.
that's the second apology from you in 24 hours. I should buy a lottery ticket.
Don't expect it to happen like a third time in 24 hours. That's I'm still me.
And Sybil leans over to Owen and says, Dear, should we leave the two of you alone together? Does Owen not respond to that?
I think Owen says, unfortunately, I have another less entertaining date this evening.
Oh, the other delivery, of course.
Yes, there's a body in need of there's a body in need, we'll say.
Well, thanks for whatever you did to the pool. The park feels much better now, and I'm sorry I threw the tree. I just was angry.
That's fine. Jack usually brings that out in people.
He's right. You.
Already forgotten. Already forgotten.
Hey, you want to go on a walk? Walk through your park and like just maybe you can show me and anybody who wants to come with around and tell us about the history of the place.
Um, Maybe another time. This, uh, um, I have my after dark. There's some people I like to meet. I don't think you'd enjoy.
I
Are you talking about the fascists?
No.
No.
uh I'm sorry, I don't know your name. I'm not going to ask for it, but there are stories of trolls guarding treasure. Could you take care of something dangerous?
Good thinking. Good thinking, George.
What
Oh,
is
geez,
the
I thought George was gonna be like, could we have some?
George, I need that.
what is it that you want me to take care of?
George looks at Sybil.
George,
Yes. And Sybil holds up the hand, says, This, it's a dangerous artifact. We wouldn't want it falling into the hands of men with bad thoughts.
Um, the troll will look to Owen like Owen is the person here that he trusts the most. Should I do it? Should I take this?
I won't lie, I don't think it's something dangerous. I think that I'll tell you what, ladies, I can look or what do you say, ladies? Like, is ladies formal enough for Owen is the thing. Yeah, I'll say ladies. I think ladies in this period is pretty fairly formal. I can hold on to that and look after it.
Well, I mean, I'm sure you can take care of it physically, but I mean, I took it with magic.
Well,
Technically, didn't your spirit guide do that?
then shouldn't
George
we
rolls her
burn
eyes.
it or something?
If you want to have
You,
it,
we
Owen,
did try that, yes?
did I try lighting it? No.
Well, not the tips, the from the other side. Because the tips are where you light the candles for the hand of glory.
Mm-mm. Oh, and if you think you can keep it safe, then I trust you with it. Uh, but no offense, I think I'd trust your friend a little bit more.
All right. I mean, Owen has said his piece that he thinks it's dangerous and that like it's dangerous to take, but he's not gonna lie about that.
I mean, the troll is not scared of dangerous things. If you just say it's dangerous, he'll be like, yeah,
I
that's
say it's
fine.
dangerous. The Miss Carrington and Miss George are right in that people should not it should not be laying around.
All right. I can take that for you.
You are a dear. Remember, magicians may be after it, so guard it well.
Um, I've seen human magicians before. I'm not impressed for the most part.
Excellent.
Um, I think maybe it makes sense that we wrap up for today here, and we'll pick up with Owen going to the train station next time. Um,
Oh, okay.
uh, just because I can see that scene taking some time, um,
Yeah.
and we're going to run out. Um, Jose, you're not here next week, right?
No, I won't hear. So I'll be away for 2 weeks. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
So
Um,
you all, and yeah, so
called
you'll
away to
figure
deal with
something.
some Carrington business.
Maybe after the conversation at the rail station with Owen, um, uh, she may be worrying more about Anthony and that maybe sending him back to Oxford wasn't safe. So maybe she's headed back there to watch over him.
All right. Cool. Well, I might end the recording there and we'll do stars and wishes.